talked about this a little bit last week. The fact that we're playing in a really good conference against really good teams. Some people have asked me, well, is Navy going to continue to play Notre Dame, and why? Why?
Well, it's a great honor for us to play them. And I think it shows you what Notre Dame is all about, the integrity of their school. It's way more than football. They recognize what the Navy, did for them. And they've hold true to their word. And like I said, it just shows you what that school's all about. Probably a lot of other schools, most other schools would have looked at it just from a purely maybe, football sense or dollar sense or whatever the case may be. But it shows you that's a special institution.
Outstanding. Thank
I
you.
was going
That's
to ask
fantastic.
you about some of the past upsets. Going back to 2007, you'd been part of a lot of Navy Notre Dame games, and there was times when you thought Navy was going to win, and somehow, some way, it slipped away. There's been other games where they beat you pretty soundly. What was 2007 like for you?
It was a great moment. I thought the kids played well, and obviously it was a historic moment for our football program to be able to beat them after whatever 60 years, and it was a historic moment.
Where were you, in the box or on the field during that game?
I was on the sideline. I was on the sideline for that.
Right. I've talked to some of the players who were in that game from 2007, and they said it was just bedlam afterwards. It was the most wild scene ever as far as the celebrating, and some don't even really remember specifics. They don't remember even talking, just going crazy. Do you remember much about what you did?
Well, people forget there was a penalty too.
Oh,
So
yeah,
we
they
had to so it was like a delayed celebration, but to do it after the second time was awesome.
So then 2009, you win again. This time you're the head coach. Did it mean a little more for you personally being the head coach? Because the 2 years before, it was Paul Johnson, and that was a big moment for him as a head coach and kind of helped propel him to the Georgia Tech job, really.
Yeah, I think the thing that's cool is they were ranked. You know what I mean? So it was a good football team. It wasn't one of their down teams. And so to go in there to beat a really good team, Ricky Dobbs played really well. But to beat a team that was ranked, that was awesome. Not only just to beat Notre Dame, but they're a ranked football team.
And then the 2010 game in the Meadowlands, you all beat them almost shockingly soundly. There was since 1963 that a Navy team had ever beaten Notre Dame that soundly. What is your recollection of that game? Well, that was kind of a shocker, to a lot of people.
Well, we probably played as well as we've ever played against them. We played a perfect game on both sides of the ball, and we got after them. But, that's as good as we could have ever played against them. But we played really well. Alex Teeks had a really good game. And,
Dobbs was in that one again.
Ricky, again, was in there defensively. We played really good, had some picks. But we played as good as we could play, and they're a little bit off that game.
So the fact that Navy has beaten Notre Dame 4 times since 2007, as opposed to that 43-game losing streak, do you think that in any way that changes the mindset of the players at the Naval Academy? For 40 years, nobody could ever point to a time when Navy beat Notre Dame, but now even these kids can say, hey, we have beaten them recently.
I think our kids look at them from a standpoint they're a really good football team, and they look at the here and now. Social media, it's all about now. I don't think people look too far back, but our kids recognize that we got a good team too, and they're good, yes, and we have a lot of respect for them, but we feel like we have a good team too. And I think that's the way our kids have approached this, that we have a tremendous amount of respect for them, great football team, but we feel like we have a good team too this year.
Well, just tell me a little bit about your recollection. Were you in Jacksonville in 2016 when Navy beat Notre Dame?
Yes.
In uniform on the sideline or in the stands?
No, I was in uniform, played kickoff return the entire game. I was on the sideline.
So what was your recollection of that game?
Definitely something new. I was a freshman, and I think just the idea of actually playing Notre Dame in general was kind of crazy to me. Something I always wanted to do, at least play a team of that, that praise and just amongst college football in general. So I was really happy, very anxious, very nervous, especially to be. I'm pretty sure it was kickoff return for the first play of the game. I'm almost positive. Mm-hmm. If not,
you all could. Yeah, you did, because you got to stop on Notre Dame or something like that, or I think maybe they scored and then Navy went right back down and scored, but I can't remember.
Yeah, but just kind of being on the field and just looking around in the NFL stadium, and then seeing those like shiny gold helmets come down the field when I was on kickoff return was kind of I would say it was nerve-wracking at first. It was like my first experience playing a team like that, to that, but it was a good experience, especially after winning.
So now is your last time going against them. How great would it feel to bookend your career with another win?
It'd be awesome. That's one of the dreams. I mean, because it just follows many of the goals that we had set playing in the beginning of the season. So beating them would just be, a part of the process that we want to have to finish and be successful at the end of the year. So
What's it take to beat Notre Dame?
I just think it takes discipline, good eyes, knowing your plays, being able to get the call. I mean, it takes basically taking a perfect practice and basically copying and pasting on the game day and executing. I think the biggest thing is execution because our game plans are immaculate and our offense is doing really well this year. So just think it's just execution.
You and I have talked before about the injuries, and you lost an entire season last year, and then you're playing really well in preseason this year, and looks like you're going to have a role, or you were in the number one on the depth chart at the time, and then you another unfortunate injury right before the opener. Did you had to feel a little bit cursed?
Oh yeah, absolutely a little bit cursed. Anytime something like that happens, you're questioning why, but it really makes you kind of dig deep down and remember why, you're playing the game. It makes you rely on your teammates a little bit more. And so, I think that my teammates around me, they've uplifted me, stood by me through the whole time. So it's brought me closer to them in that aspect, which I think is a great positive from that.
I got a feeling that you were absolutely 100,000% determined to come back this year.
Yeah.
You were not missing another whole season.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, no, we're not missing another game. I'm so stoked to be out here. I said our motto right now is just 1-0, and that is 100% kind of what I'm living by. I'm not leaving a rep out there. So, yeah, taking advantage of it for sure.
So, I guess after what you've been through and all the games you missed, every minute on the field is a great experience. Can you just talk about, recovering a fumble against UConn and just what these last few games have been like? You're probably soaking it up, aren't you?
Yeah, sure. Game by game, UConn was kind of my first opportunity to really get in there and get some real meaningful snaps. I ended up taking about half the snaps on defense. And, coming off the edge, working back inside Jake, forcing the fumble on that, and me being able to pick that up, that was great. And then run off the sideline, seeing all my teammates, fired up for me. Everyone was coming up, hugging me.
Did you get the chain?
I did not. Jake got the chain, which
man.
rightfully deserves so. Maybe, if I had picked that thing up and ran it back, then maybe I would have been deserving on it. But, I fell on it, and but it was still a great time. It's still fun.
So this game, coming up is going to mean a lot more to you than some others. Crow has played against Notre Dame 3 times. I don't know how many times you played against Notre Dame. Ever?
No, I've not played against Notre Dame. And, this is one of the reasons that I came to the Naval Academy, to prove that I can play at this level, play against these guys, just to go in there into that stadium with history like that and hopefully make a mark in there means the world. Absolutely. It's a dream.
Thanks, buddy. Well, talk about playing Notre Dame. You work your way up from the bottom in this industry, and now you're playing at the pinnacle of college football, Notre Dame Stadium. Everyone knows the history and the fable, Notre Dame, touchdown Jesus, all that, and it's going to be, I don't know, have you ever been there before?
No, I've been in South Bend. I've never been to a game there.
Right.
And obviously never coached in a game there. So, yeah, it's exciting. It's huge, At the end of the day, it's another football game, but I'm not going to lie and tell you I'm not excited about it. And what a great opportunity for us and our players, and so just ready to get going.
So talk a little bit about Ian Book. He's been a major difference maker for them ever since they installed him as the starting quarterback. Good player. What do you see in Ian Book? What is he?
I think he's an outstanding player. He's a guy that can beat you throwing the ball and can beat you running the football. And I think the last couple of weeks he's been playing at a really, really high level. I think he's peaking, playing with a lot of confidence, and he's really good.
So they lost a guy, Dexter Williams, who gave Navy a lot of trouble last year. He's now playing for the Packers. But the new guy, I think, is Tony Jones. Is that his name? But the tailback this year, what are you seeing in him?
Yeah, big physical running back, hard to tackle. They're good everywhere. Their skill players are outstanding. They're big up front. The quarterback makes things happen. So it's going to be a real challenge. We're going to have to go play really, really well. We're going to have to tackle really well. Like I said, the running backs are big physical players. The receivers are big physical players. So it's certainly going to be a challenge.
What is, from what you see from this Notre Dame team, is there anything they particularly like to do? What do you feel needs to be taken away? Are they going to try to establish the run first and foremost?
Yeah, they want to run the football. They're really, really balanced. Don't have a ton of tendencies. They do a really good job of formation you and shifting and doing different things with the back. And so they do a good job with their balance. But like everybody that's balanced, you want to establish the running game, and everything kind of stems off of that.
Right. So as far as, what this game could mean for Navy, obviously it's been a great year, but a win in this game in Notre Dame Stadium would be pretty big, huh?
Yeah, I think it's the next game, but obviously you win a game like this, and it goes a long way. with these players and the respect that you get from beating a team that's a ranked opponent, a team that's got the prestige that Notre Dame does at their place. Obviously, they've got a 16 or 17 game home winning streak, and so what a great opportunity. I'm just excited to have this opportunity, and looking forward to our players going out there. I feel good about it. We got to go play great, but I like our chances.